Hey lovely sexy hobby people, welcome to today's video, which is going to be Airfix Model World issue 171. So this is the first video they've released since, the first magazine Airfix have released since their announcements for the 2025 range. We got a picture of Sepcat Jaguar on the front, a 124 scale Spitfire Mark 9 conversion build here, and then a 124 scale N1 Starfighter for the Mandalorian. But let's get into it, shall we? So, we've got a really cool 112 scale build for an F-16 cockpit here as well. Right, cat's out the bag. Here we go, new toolings. So there are a number of new toolings that Airfix announced, and they included a 135 scale Alvis Stalwart Mark II, which I'm really looking forward to. A 172 scale Westland Wessex HC2 helicopter. A 148 scale Supermarine Spitfire TR9. A 148 scale Supermarine Spitfire Mark 9E, a 148 scale Jaguar GR1, and then a 144 scale SLS Artemis space rocket, which would be that beastie there. But yeah, the Stalwart is the one I'm actually looking forward to most. Probably followed by a Wessex. That could be interesting. If somebody could do, what would be nice if anybody knows of a manufacturer that makes sort of like 1950s and 1960s British jungle troops. You could certainly do troops deploying in Aden or Borneo or Malaya, that sort of thing, using the Wessex. And then refreshed kits. So these are a number of kits that they've refreshed. Some of them have different decals, etc. But again, there's only a small amount here that I'm interested in, and they're mainly the old JB model ones. But the refreshed kits for 2025 are a 172 scale Focke-Wulf FW 190F8 A8, a 148 scale Albion 3-point refueler, 148 scale World War II RAF 5 CWT 4x2 general service truck, a 148 scale World War II RAF ground crew, 172 scale Bristol Blenheim Mark 1F, 172 Messerschmitt ME410 A1, 172 Boeing Chinook HC1 Late, 172 Boeing B-17G Fortress Mark III, 148 Fairey Gannet COD4, 135 Ferret Scout Car Mark I, 172 Consolidated B-24 Liberator, a 148 scale Western Lynx. I may be interested in that to go with the 148 scale vehicles that I currently have. 148 scale Foland Nat T1, 148 scale Supermarine Spitfire Mark I, 172 Fokker E2 Eindecker, 172 Royal Aircraft Factory BE2C. And then these are the JB models vehicles that I'm interested in. Long wheelbase Land Rover hardtop with trailer. British Army 4-ton 4x4 general service truck, the good old Bedford. Been in the back of those more times than I care to remember. A Land Rover 1-ton Forward Command truck general service body, which isn't pictured here. And then the British 105mm light field gun, which would be this one here. We also have a 148 scale Supermarine Spitfire photo reconnaissance 19, a Heineken HE111 H6 148 scale English Electric Lightning F2A F6, 172 scale Hawker Hurricane Mark 1, 148 scale Bolton Paul Defiant NF1, and a 172 scale Handley Page Victor K2 SR2. I may be interested in that, but it's expensive. So they're issuing out some new gift sets as well, which are going to be a 172 Battle of Britain gift set, which includes a Heineken ME109 by the look of it, and a Hawk Hurricane and a Supermarine Spitfire. They're also doing a space shuttle and Saturn V rockets. They're both in 144 scale. We then have some vintage classics, and much to my pleasure, they're re-releasing the German E-boat or Schnellboot in 172 scale, along with the RAF Rescue Launch and the Vosper Motor Torpedo Boat. All of those fast attack craft in 172 scale. In 144 there's the Boeing 314 Clipper, and then in 172 we have a Sopwith Pup, a Lockheed Hudson Mark 1, a BAC Jaguar GR1, and a Westland Puma, or Puma. And that's it. So those were, when Airfix did their range refresh, those were what they were essentially releasing this year. Now, that's not to say that's everything. There is the potential for them to throw in a few surprise releases like they did last year. But that's the main gist of it. Right, new tool, 172 Battle from Azure. Bit of an ugly looking aircraft. F-16 pylons from Rush Models. 148 scale. Blackbirds 172 Meteor PR10 conversion, First Gen Reconnaissance 10 conversion. Cader's new brick type construction sets, so more of these similar to, I assume, the kind of like Airfix quick build stuff. We got a T-34 by the look of it, and we've got a T-90. I'm not entirely sure what that is. It could be a MiG-25 Foxbat by the look of it. So we've got Artemis rocket, International Space Station, Apollo 11 lunar module, Voyager probe, Space Shuttle, Mars rover. That's these guys here. Increasing complexity, Hubble Space Telescope, and Orbiter. That's that one. China's Flying Shark J-15. I wonder if that's that. We have a T-90, T-34. Yeah, and that's it, I think. Yes, that's got to be the T-15. It does look like a MiG-25 Foxbat. Sprue Box inspiration boxes. Whether you're a seasoned enthusiast or just starting the hobby, something new is on the horizon, courtesy of the relaunched Sprue Box and Inspiration Box subscription service, set to debut in 2025. This isn't just a product launch, and while details remain a closely guarded secret, the 2025 Inspiration Box lineup will feature an exclusive collaboration with premium quality figure and accessory firm Elan 13. For those unfamiliar with Sprue Box, the name represents more than just a subscription service. It's a hub for creativity, a modelling resource, and a passion project born from a deep love for the hobby. Over the years, Sprue Box has fostered connections and encouraged innovation, and is returning with a fresh vision. The Inspiration Box is designed to spark your creativity, challenge your skills, and most importantly, reignite the passion for timeless craft. At its core, an Inspiration Box is a carefully crafted experience. Each box will contain a selection of items chosen to inspire, challenge, and excite modelers. Subscribers might find unique model kits, specialist tools, or exclusive accessories. Sprue Box is also hinting at online resources such as tutorials, live Q&A sessions, or even community build challenges where you can share your progress with other subscribers. And let's not forget the joy of anticipation when waiting for a surprise package. So what's next? If you're curious, keep an eye on Sprue Box's website, spruebox.co.uk, and social media channels. The big reveal is just around the corner, and if the teasers are any indication, it's going to be worth the wait. So that would be interesting, because I've seen subscription boxes for like survival items or knives. You know, as you go through YouTube, you see people doing these unboxings for various bits and pieces that are essentially subscriptions for things like that. So that could be interesting. Not too sure I'll subscribe though. Aircraft's 172 Norwegian Sea King upgrade kit. So that looks like resin parts and photo etch. Magic Factory releases a 1700 USS Gerald R. Ford. Monster Packwagen from Das Werk. 1/16 scale SDKFZ 25122 Alf's D Packwagen. So that, I've noticed 1/16 scales really taking off. Again, it's a scale that I just could not get away with in my tiny little flat. Mini Arts all new 1/48 scale Junkers F13 early production. And then display case. So some of the readers' models. We got a Buccaneer, we got a couple of Phantoms. What's this? Matchless G50 500cc, apparently. HMS King George V and Buccaneer and Phantoms. So low back, low down conversion build for a 1/24 scale Spitfire. So the base kit is an Airfix 1/24 scale Spitfire Mark 9C, and it's £99 from their website, airfix.com. And then we have, just going through it, we've also got pictures here of the Spitfire low back parts, the replacement parts and where they go, putting it in, and then obviously using filler to ensure that it fits correctly. Looks like the PE upgrades are really nice. On the door here for the cockpit and various other bits and pieces. Out and about, Letchworth show. So we have Mad Max to create this fully scratch-built Wasteland Cuda, a Plymouth Barracuda, complete with metal plate and grille window coverings. B29 Super Fortress there, very nice. Nice little 1/35 scale diorama, centerpiece of Dave Calder's wartime gap crossing diorama on the new City Model Club and Broncos 135 T17E, one Staghound, and a motorcycle. Brill Cream Boys. So we got some more. We've got some more photo details for uniforms. So we've got Mosquito Pilot 1944, Air Gunner circa 1943, Bomber Crew late 1941, Bomber Crew mid 1944, Beach Flight circa 1944. For operations on beach landings, including D-Day, beach flight members coordinated RAF stores and personnel on beaches. 2nd Tactical Air Force, France, 1944. RAF Regiment, Northwest Europe, late 1944. And Leading Aircraftman Service Dress, just no year with that, so... Right, it's an MRAP, intermediate build. Ryefield models, first mentioned 148 scale armour, and can't resist making some changes. So, we have Ryefield model, 148 scale, £35.99. It's an M1240A1 MATV from tigerhobbies.co.uk. So mine protected vehicles are not a new thing. I can remember I think it was called the Bushel from Rafael, a South African vehicle that was used during the Bush Wars, or Rhodesian vehicle used during the Bush Wars, which basically was a truck which had a mine protected troop cabin. Because essentially it's two things. It's got extra armour, but also the shape is designed so that if a mine does go off underneath the vehicle, it's directed up and out by the V-shaped hull of the vehicle, rather than, for example, on a Land Rover, it's just flat underneath, so that whole force just goes straight up and into the floor. There's other things which are done with mine protected vehicles, so you'll often find that they are floating seats, so that instead of the seat itself being bolted directly to the chassis, they are rigged in such a way that if a mine does go up underneath the vehicle, the shock waves do not travel up through the vehicle and then up through the seat, injuring the person sat in that seat. But yeah, it's cool. Nice little touch with a spinal board strapped to the outside there. And these things aren't tiny. I mean, you look at the figure here, stood next to it. These things are not tiny. So it looks like they used some resin aftermarket wheels. And then out and about, Wings and Things 2024. We got a nice NX01 Enterprise there, 1/350th scale. A 125 Willys Coupe here. Nice 176 Dapple Kitmaster 15-ton hydraulic diesel crane. I need to try and get out and visit some model shows. Right, so this is the intermediate build Viper Pit F16 cockpit by Italeri. It's 1/12 scale, £32.99 from hobbyco.net. And this looks really nice. Again, not really my thing, but I can see enthusiasts of fighter aircraft picking this up to build. A set of self-adhesive seatbelts were supplied. A steel ruler and a sharp scalpel were required to ensure that they were cut to shape without any white backing sheet remaining. Styrene buckles and fittings were added once all the straps had been cut away. The adhesive backing proved inadequate, so CA glue kept everything in place. So the ejector seat builds up, really nicely detailed. And the cockpit tub itself, I mean, looking at this, the cockpit tub itself looks fantastic. And this looks like the decal sheet for the instrument panel, which looks really detailed, with some of these decals being shown here on this instrument panel before completion of construction. Very nice too. Cool. Okay, in focus, tactical cat. So the Jaguar was a ground attack aircraft for the RAF and France, I think it was. And it was specifically designed during the Cold War to be able to operate from short and rough airfields. Its landing gear was specifically designed for that purpose. Tested during the Gulf War, 1990-91 Gulf War. And then exclusive build, Desert Cat. So, Sepcat Jaguar GR1 Airfix, 148 scale, is £59.99 from airfix.com. Airfix supplies parts for both an early and late version of the Martin Baker Mark 9 ejection seat, along with 2 pilot figures. Plenty of bomb stores and drop tanks, ECM chaff pods, drop tanks, £1,000 bombs, AIM 9L sidewinders. The wheelbase look really nicely detailed. And then an in-focus photo look again at the Jaguar. very nice shot from underneath of a Jaguar in flight. Anniversary event, out and about, Abingdon. It's a nice Centurion armoured vehicle Royal Engineers here. Avery. Nice little Bell helicopter in 1/48 scale. This is nice. Adrian Allen's Beetle Caravan used Tamiya 124 VW kit as the basis, with the Caravan being scratch built from solid styrofoam, using period photos as both inspiration and guide to create this eye-catching combo. Cool. Very interesting camouflage pattern here. So it's got the usual sort of like disruptive pattern camouflage, three-tone camouflage, but then on top is like a script, what they call a scribble camouflage going over the top to help break it up even more. So SM79 Sparvero at IPMS Salisbury Model Club. Bob Leach went all out to create this unusual scribble type camouflage for his Trumpeter 1/48 scale build. Fear of the Bones. So we got an F18. Jolly Rogers Hornet 2-seat. So FA18F Super Hornet by Revell, 172 scales, £24.99 from Revell stockists. And this is just a basic build, so probably out of the box. Although it looks like it's sat waiting to start operations because we've got covers over the engine intakes that they're moulding and how they did it. And then painting. Nice. Movie modelling. Little editorial piece, opinion piece. Really nice. Fairy Delta FD2. Extensive metal components before adding one of the more colourful test liveries, such as the engineering that the nose pivots smoothly. It's not often you see missiles as a modelling choice, but we have a 124 scale English Electric Thunderbird Mark II SAM, built as a 36 Heavy Air Defence Regiment unit by Brampton IPMS modeller Gary Joel. Nice. Ian Anthony used a combination of enamels and oils to paint this magnificent Landsknechte bone part, creating realistic skin and fabric tones on this resin bust. And then we have the 124 scale Revell Naboo N1 Starfighter, which is depicted in the Mandalorian show. And this is £61.95 from Revell stockists. Little baby Grogu. Nicely finished. I like the weathered aspect on that they've achieved on the paint job. Is it an R4 droid? Astromech droid? I wouldn't mind trying to get hold of some of the 172 scale X-Wings, TIE Fighters and the Millennium Falcon. Perhaps when they next get a release. Right, so on the shelf, books, here we go. Hunting Percival, Pembroke, Prince and Sea Prince. F-106 Delta Dart, colours and markings of the F-106. Little Norway, 1940 to 45. Flagets Hader. Westland Whirlwind, so that's helicopter. Walk Round. American Experimental Fighters of World War II, The Pursuit of Excellence. British Naval Gun Mountings from 1890, 18-inch to 4.5-inch Mark 8. M42 Duster, which was the self-propelled anti-aircraft vehicle of the United States for a spell. Carrier Killer. At first glance, this volume of the Asia World series would appear to be just about China's recent development and deployment of anti-ship ballistic missiles, the so-called carrier killers DF-21 and DF-26. And then we have P-51 Early Mustang. Right. Model kits, aircraft, an Avro 626 Prefect, 172 scale, €15.10 from Kovozavody. F4F Wildcat Operation Torch, Armour Hobby, 172 scale, €22.50 from armourhobby.com. Lockheed Martin F-35B Lightning II, 172 scale from Tamiya, $39.99 from hobbyco.net. CAC CA-19 Boomerang Jungle Scouts, Special Hobby, 148 scale, €37.40, specialhobby.eu. Cauldron C635 Simoon, or Simone. Dora Wings, 148 scale, £30.95 from albionhobbies.com. And Turbolay L410 UVP, 172 scale, Edward, £22.41 from edward.com. Douglas DB7 French Service, Azure, 172 scale, €30, from.com, so that's FRROM.com. Bristol Super Freighter, 172 scale, Airfix, $24.99, airfix.com. And then the F-35C Lightning II, 172 scale from Italeri, $39.99, hobbyco.net. Armour, T-55 AI-4 Enigma Soviet-made base, mini art, 135 scale, $74.99, creativemodels.co.uk. 2 centimetre flak 38 ICM 135 scale, £15.10, hanance.co.uk. 90mm Italian anti-aircraft gun, IBG 172 scale, €15 from ibgmodels.com. Jagdpanzer 4 or Jagdpanther 4, L70 from Revell, 176 scale. This looks like it's one of the Matchbox reboxings. $9.99 from Revell Stockists. Austin Armoured Car, 1918, pattern British service. Dunster Force, 135 scale, mini art, £52.99. And Kranken Panzerwagen SDKF Z 251/8 Alpha A with military medical personnel. So, okay, cool. That is ICM 135 scale, £43.80. Essentially, combat medics and their armoured ambulance. Ships, we have a Type 22 U2540, a 144 scale from RC Subs, €90 from rcsubs.cz. Darwin's Historical Discovery Bark HMS Beagle in 196 scale, and that's from Revell. £32.49 from Revel Stockist, and the Fairmile D motor torpedo boat, 1/144 scale from Naomega UK scale, £95, naomega-resin.com. Civilian vehicles, Stranger Things, Argyle's VW T3 Surfer Boy pizza van, Revel 125 scale, £41.99. Oil products delivery car, a Leifer Pritzwagen Type 170V, Mini Art 135 scale, £42.99 from Creative Models. And then we have a Volvo FH Platt DAC Italeri 124 scale, £79.99, hobbyco.net. And then coming into aftermarket decals, we have Brits at Sea Part 3, Grumman F6, F5, Hellcat and Westland Wessex HU5. These are 175. These are 172 scale. This is 172 scale. 148 scale. LM F16 AM. RNOAF. Doesn't say. Don't know what that would be. Royal Norwegian Air Force. There you go. Right. 172 scale McDonnell Douglas A4 Skyhawk Part 1 Singapore Air Force. And then Westland Wessex has one Royal Navy 148 scale. Russian artillery in 2022. 2 S19 MSTAS. 135 scale. And then aftermarket parts, we have some Hurricane Mark II wheels flattened. This is interesting. This is an F4E parachute by Edward. It's a 3D printed chute with photo etch rigging. And it's basically until recently portraying a jet fighter with a deployed braking chute, relied on scratch building, but for 172 Phantoms at least, Edward has come to the rescue with an exquisite 3D printed item, posed open and just resting on the runway. Shroud lines on the chute itself are admirably fine and look to scale, while the long lines running to the housing were rendered in fine photo etched brass. The chute used by both US and export customers comes with trademark F4E housing, an open door, and is designed to slip neatly into the rear of a fine Miles F4E/EJ. However, with a little adaptation and minor surgery, scratch building it can be employed in any 172 Phantom kit. 132 scale US bomb trailer M5 there. We have a 60 centimetre flak Scheinwerfer, which I'm assuming means searchlight, in 172 scale from Planet Models. That's nice. A My 24V 9A624 machine gun, 148 scale from Edward there. 4-barreled machine gun unit designed to replace the rather clunky two-piece styrene version in Zvezda's Mi-24V. Paint set for World War I French infantry from ICM. And we have a 135 scale 3D printed bazooka here. And then the final bits and pieces, final advertising and the show guide, which I will do the pictures for. But I hope you enjoyed that, and I will see you in the next video. All right, take care. Bye-bye.